Hey guys, live from the Indianapolis Convention Center. We're back for day 2, and it's another Fireside chat. Fire is nice and warm, roaring right now, and we had a pretty good day today. Day 2 is in the books. We had a chance to speak to Ron Rivera earlier today, and Rivera kind of, I don't know whether he cleared up some of these off-season storylines or he just kind of updated us. So, a couple of updates. Julius Peppers recovering from his surgery. He said that Marty Herney is going to be reaching out to Peppers sooner rather than later. He said when it comes to Andrew Norwell, it's tough, right?
Yeah.
That's
he made it clear that the decision has very definitely not been made either way. Like he said, I think it was Marty Herney's meeting with his agent next week, and so I think it's still very much an unknown. I think it's going to cost a lot of money if they do it, and it'll be hard to replace him if they don't. But
and one of the things that he mentioned was Taylor Milton, right?
yeah,
So he said he could play guard or tackle, but it seems like he said, where does he prefer him? It seems like he prefers him at tackle, right?
yes, yeah. I mean, it would be surprising if they played him at guard, given that when sort of week 17 Turner can't play against Atlanta and you start Silatolu over Moten, that suggests that either Moten really isn't ready or he's not really a guard. Because, I mean, don't say it, but a Mini Silatolu is not a good guard.
Right.
And if you're starting a Mini Silatolu over a guy who at that point had most of a season to get ready for it, it wasn't like it was a week 1 game where
Sure.
maybe he's inexperienced. I'd be surprised if they play him at guard. I'd certainly be surprised if he was a first choice to start at left guard.
Right. So some of the other things that he talked about were Graham Gano, he talked about Cam Newton, he talked about Luke Kuechly, he talked about Norv Turner. He was very open and honest, talked for almost 25 minutes. If you want to hear that audio, you can go to therightreport.com. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you've probably heard it already, but you can check as well. We did a nice transcript kind of breaking down exactly what he was talking about, so that's available on the Riot Report as well. But what we should really focus on, what is kind of the focus of the Combine, right?
Yeah.
Is the prospects. Today, the offensive linemen and the running backs kind of started their process. So tomorrow they're going to be doing the 40 and the field drills. Today they did the bench press, which actually was pretty cool because they had an audience there that the audience could watch them do the bench press. And the linemen were kind of cheering them on as they went. So you could every maybe 3 to 4 minutes you would hear a big roar go up from the linemen. Anybody really kind of stand out to you from on the bench press?
I mean, on the bench, the running backs like Barkley and Chubb will get the headlines for 29 reps. I think that's impressive. It shows they're athletic.
Sure.
I'm not sure it massively changes them as prospects, particularly the running back position.
That doesn't show extra power though for a guy like Chubb.
No, it just shows how strong their arms are. The thing with the bench press is it's purely upper body. It's not legs or anything like that. And so I'm not sure if a running back team really tells you very much. Maybe their potential ability in pass protection, that's a real stretch to get to that.
Right.
I think for O-linesmen it's far more relevant about sustaining blocks. It's not the be-all and end-all. Like two guys who clearly have power on tape in Isaiah Wynn and Orlando Brown had really poor bench presses. I think that if you're a GM, it makes you go back and look at that a bit more, but I don't think you sort of go, well, Orlando Brown, is he really that powerful? Because you can see him moving people comfortably in the run game, so I don't think that's really a concern.
Well, we talked about the tape being informed by the Combine and not the other way around. So this way, if a guy like Isaiah Wynn only puts up 8 on the bench press, that's not impressive, but that doesn't mean that he's not strong. It just means that maybe he's not strong on the bench press. On the other hand, you look at a guy like Will Hernandez, who is your number 2 guard.
Yeah.
He put up 37 reps on the bench press.
Yeah, he looks like a powerful guy.
Yeah, to put that into perspective, Trey Turner put up 25.
Yeah.
So Will Hernandez put up 12 more than Trey Turner, who is humongous and a beast.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for Hernandez? Does that kind of move him up the board for you?
Not especially. Like you can see he's a powerful guy, but I mean, if in a way, if this was a squat rather than a bench press, it might mean more because leg power is so important. But not like when people are powerful in run blocking, you need to have strong arms. But it's not like generally the guy with the stronger legs wins rather than the guy with the stronger arms. And like Trey Turner is powerful, but 25 is fairly mediocre for an O-linesman.
Yeah, usually anywhere between 20 and 30 is kind of expected.
Yeah.
Once they go over 30, that's when you kind of start to have your eyes pop. And Quentin Nelson, who obviously is a very, very highly regarded guy, did not press 37 like Will Hernandez.
But Nelson did have in the 30s.
I think he had 32 or 35. But
again, he's a powerful guy, and it does show Hernandez is powerful, Nelson is powerful. I think the bench press isn't that useful a drill. Like, it's interesting to see the numbers they put up, and it is,
it's interesting, but it's not the end all be all.
No,
right?
no.
So also we did, after that, we had some availability from a lot of the offensive linemen and the running backs for some interviews. One of the guys that I was really impressed with was Frank Ragnow. He said that he could play all 5 offensive lineman positions. Obviously, he's a center. Yeah. The other guy that's a center, who we should probably touch on in the bench press, Billy Price, who is either the 1 or 2 center prospect, depending on how you want to look at it, injured his shoulder or his arm or his pec.
Yeah, I think it was a shoulder injury.
He was grabbing his left shoulder right after the bench press or during the bench press, and then was not available for the media after that. So something to keep an eye on, but that actually might not be the worst thing in the world.
I mean, if you're a cynic and you're looking at it from a Panthers perspective...
Oh, the fire went out.
Is it back on?
Yeah, it's coming back on. Don't worry. I'll relight it. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I think, it's clearly not good for Billy Price, and to say, not going to sort of be too jolly about it, but from a cynic's perspective, the Panthers' need at centre is more developmental than it is for someone to come in and start right away.
Right.
And if you're looking at an injury that potentially doesn't do any long-term damage, maybe puts him out of the first couple of weeks of training camp, but actually means he's back to full strength by the time the season starts, and certainly by sort of mid-season.
Right.
But lowers his grade by a round or so. The Panthers are unlikely to spend a top 60 pick on a centre, and if it drops him from 55 to 85, then for the Panthers that almost brings him back into sort of the viable centre range, which was clearly not good for Billy Price. If you're a Panthers fan,
that's good
news.
That is good news. Yeah. So the other guys where we talked to Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb said something really interesting when asked what his best trait was or his best skill was. He actually said pass protection.
No, that wasn't Chubb. That was Sony Michel.
Oh, I apologize. You're right. That was Sony Michel. So Sony Michel said that they're confusing. They play right next to each other.
We did talk to both of them as well.
Yeah. And so Sony Michel said that pass protection is his best attribute.
Yeah.
But you said that you may not buy that, right?
I'm not saying he said it was the thing he was most sort of proud of and works on most. I think rather than sort of necessarily think he thinks he's absolutely best at. I think for an undersized running back like Sony Michel, he almost kind of has to say that to kind of sort of prove to GMs, look, I am a 3-down guy, I am a complete running back. I think that's not where his value is. Like, he's a top 3-round running back, I think, certainly.
Sure.
If not, maybe a mid-round guy at the worst case scenario. I can't remember his on top of my head, but he's a good running back. He catches the ball well. He's a good receiver. I mean, his value is not going to be in his pass protection. That's not going to be what teams drafted.
Anybody else really jump out at you from a running back perspective from the interview period?
Geis was entertaining.
Right.
I'm still not totally sure where I am on him as a prospect in terms of whether I think he's right at the top or whether he's just that sort of tier below. But he certainly seemed like an interesting guy. And Kerryon Johnson wasn't too complimentary about the Browns. That was quite funny.
Yeah. Well, just to be clear, Saquon Barkley was there as well.
Yeah.
We didn't speak to him. We are gearing towards the Panthers, and that's what you guys want to hear about. So Saquon Barkley, tomorrow when the quarterbacks are there, we're not going to be talking to Sam Darnold, to Josh Rosen, to Josh Allen with the big hands, and he's very tall. We get it. But what we're going to be doing is focusing on players that we think the Panthers might be drafting. And some of the guys that we talked about, you'll see it on our Twitter feed. You'll see in our great Scout Camp series. Make sure to check that out on theriotreport.com. Be sure to check back tomorrow for another Fireside Chat. We will fire up the fire wherever we are. And that's it. We'll see you tomorrow.